So our design process at Hinkle Outdoor Living is a little different, I feel like, than what most people achieve. Is we try to go through with the client and design the space with them together. So what happens is when you call into the office, you'll be scheduled with a design discovery call with me. And it's usually a Zoom call, and it takes 15, 20 minutes. I just want to make sure we're on the same page with the scope you're looking for as to what we offer as our services. And so with as many calls as we get during the day, I have a lot of people that are asking for things that we aren't really focused on. So during that Zoom call, we'll talk about the scope of your project. If it's a good fit for us, then we schedule a time for us to come out and review the project. I bring my 3D guy with me. We do elevations, which is a device that we actually can measure what the elevation of the ground is around the house and the patio or the pool, whatever it is we're designing. And then we take elevations of the house. We'll get your plot plan from you. And we'll talk about what the overall view is or what your vision of the project is. And we basically create that model in 3D. And then it usually takes 1 to 2 weeks, depending on how busy we are. We create a 3D model, we'll do another Zoom call, and we review the design with you, make any changes with you during that call, talk about material selections. We talk about the size, the scope, everything that's within that design. And we work with you together to get it looking exactly the way you want it. And once we get the design, we picked out the design, you like it, you like the materials. We spent obviously quite a bit of time together. Then we do a takeoff. And a takeoff basically compiles all the materials that we talked about and the square footages, the linear footages, all the measurements that are within that design. And we do takeoff using the materials that we talked about and create a proposal. And then once we have the proposal done, we do another Zoom call, which will last another half hour, and we walk through everything together with you. What we feel like is the time and money that we put into it, we're hoping to earn your business on the backside. So there's no fee for that, for us to actually do that. We do ask some questions up front, budget questions. We want to make sure we're in line with budget, realistic budget expectations, and answer a few other questions before we get started, but we don't take any money for that until you decide to work with us. The 3D software actually helps bring the space to life. It helps the client understand what the space is going to look like, what it's going to feel like. It gives them a good visual of looking at it from a material, colors, texture standpoint. And those are some of the things we kind of walk through with them together. What we found is we used to go out to the client's house. We used to, meet with them, take notes, go back to the drawing board, design it, do the 3D, email it to them. They look at it like, that's not quite what I thought. They'd email it back to us. We would then try to interpret what they wanted us to interpret. We would redesign it, email it back. They would go, well, I want to change this. So doing this together has shaved off a ton of both of our times, the homeowners, the client's time, and us, to just sit down and try to nail that out once we get the model built. But the 3D gives them a nice representation of what it's going to look like, allows them to see colors, allows them to see scale, furniture, the space. We've even got people we put in there. But what we're trying to do is paint a good picture of what this space is going to look like, let you see the circulation and how it's going to function once it's built.